Yeah, hi there, and these comments are for Andres, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And in your case, I'm listening to one of your, it's a pronunciation pretest that you sent me, I think, yesterday, and I'm going to go over it right now, and I'll give you advice accordingly. Let's see what happens.
Put, vote, wrong, grow, honor, over, father, thought.
Now the one thing I'd like you to work on with this one is the O. Boat, grow, over, though. So you need to make that, especially when it's at the end of the word, you need to make that vowel longer. O.
Pat, pot, map, mop, tack, talk, an, on, mac, mock, write, brown, broil, lie, loud, loyal, pie, pound, gate, get, late, let, mate, met, blade, blet, than, then.
Dane, den. So lesson number 10, again, it's the longer vowel sound. So you don't like long vowel sounds in English, but you got to make them longer. So if you take a look at these, gate, late, mate, blade, dane. So gate, get. So the A, you need to make that sound longer. So that's something you want to practice.
Meet, mit, pete, pit, lip, lip,
Leap, lip. You're getting kind of mixed up.
seat, sit, hit, hit,
Now, this is a tough one. You're about 50% on this one, but you have meet, met, seat, sit, heat, hit. So again, the longer vowel sound, that's the one that you got to work on.
look, look, luck, took, tool, tough, could, cool,
So look, Luke, luck, took, tool. Again, you got to work on that. I think that's a good lesson for you.
match, mash, chip, sheep, future, fisher, shaft, shaft, cheer, shear,
So you have match, mash, cheap, sheep. So I'm going to say you're 60% on this. I mean, you understand more or less the difference between the two sounds, but you can probably still practice this lesson too.
off, half, half, fine, vine, fan, van, water, waiver,
Wafer, waver.
how, habit, who, rehash, behavior, hate, button, beaten, important, brightening, hard rock, threatened, measure.
Okay, let's try the glottal stop in lesson 15. So this is important for your understanding and listening, and it doesn't matter as much in your speaking, but when the P's in the middle of the word, Andres, for example, we'll say Batman, bitten, important, brightening, hat rack, threatened, threatened. So you can probably work, I think, on those sounds. Really, the glottal stop in lesson 15 is the one you want to focus on.
Measure, fragile, Fraser, legend, lesson,
Now, this is tough. This is a hard one for you.
engine, assure, large, Asia,
Asia's not bad, but you struggled with the other one, so let's work on a pair of these. So, major, measure, fragile, Fraser, legend, lesion, So it's that measure, Fraser, lesion, azure. That's the sound that's harder for you in that.
Cake, sink, sock, came, game, cup, gup, lake, love, lean, real, better.
Okay, one thing I want to talk to you about lesson 17. So this is going to come up again, I'm sure. You have two kinds of consonants. We have a voice consonant, which means there's vibration in the vocal folds when you produce it. You have a voiceless consonant in which there's no vibration here. The vocal folds are held open. For example, the S and the Z. Right? So when the voice consonant's at the end of the word, the vowel sound before it's a little longer. Conversely, when the voiceless consonants at the end of the word, the vowel sounds shorter. So then, we have to look at a few words here. We say cake, keg, sink, sag, lake, lag. So because the G's at the end and it's a voice consonant, you want to make that vowel a little bit longer, and that helps your intelligibility. Alright? And by the way, if you like my course, make a comment at Snapchat, Facebook, whatever. Tell other people about my course. If you do that, I thank you a lot, my friend, because I don't advertise. I can't afford to advertise. You know there's other companies like Magoosh, TOEFL, and all those guys. I mean, they spend thousands and thousands of dollars, and I just have a small little website. Most people obviously do not even know who I am, right? They have no idea. All right, let's keep going.
Lagash, rugash, udar, right, light, committed.
I'd like you to review the R and the L consonants.
Pace, base, flop, flub.
See, that's the trouble. You got to follow my rule again. The P's a voiceless consonant, so you say flap. The B's a voice consonant, so you say flab. Cap, cab. Lap, lab.
Cup, cup, lap, lap, pay, bay.
So, when the P's in the beginning of the word, it's not a problem. I can definitely understand when you're doing the P and the B, but when the P and the B's at the end of the word, that's when I'm having trouble. That's what you got to work on. So it's the final P, final B. And remember my rule, make the vowel longer before the B consonant. Make the vowel sound a little bit shorter before the P. So flap, flab. Cap, cab.
Lease, lies.
No, it's lice, lies.
Zip, zip, sue, sue, maze, maze.
So Sue, zoo, zoo.
Elisa, Elisa, multiple, Robert, example, pressure, principle, number, people, philosopher,
Perfect.
volcanism, written, maximum, question, summer, reason, chance, often, tip, deep, card, ticked, tide, train,
No, it's tight, tide.
drain, fat, fad,
No, it's fat, fad. Cart, card. Tight, tide. So you have to go back to that rule I told you before. So voice consonants, make that vowel longer before it, and then when the vowels before voiceless consonants, make it shorter.
team, dream, thick, D,
No, thigh, thy. So you got to get the tongue between the teeth.
breath, breath,
No, breath, breathe.
teeth, teeth,
No, teeth, teeth.
through, thought, words, worthy,
Now it's big trouble, so 24 is hard for you. So what do we know now? I know some things. Believe it or not, this pretest gives me a lot of information about you. It does. Here are the lessons I think you should focus on the most. Lesson number 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23, and lesson number 24. The bottom line is, you got to practice. You really need to practice. But that's why you joined my course. Why would you join my course if you're not going to practice? Of course you're going to practice, right? So as you go through my videos, I recommend that you read out loud what I'm teaching in those videos. This is called tracking, and you're trying to read with me in the video at about the same pace, with the same rhythm, with the same tone, and pronouncing all the words or the sounds as best you can, following my lead, right? So start doing that. I would go through all pronunciation lessons, but focus more on the ones I just outlined, right? All right, let's keep going.
My educational background is mainly on the electronic engineering.
All right, so now you're going to tell me a little bit about yourself. Believe it or not, this also gives me more information about your speaking proficiency, because now I can pay attention to your language use, which means your grammar and your vocabulary. I can also pay attention how you organize and develop your ideas.
I finished the high school some years ago, and I'm working in a telecommunication company,
Okay.
Installing 3G and 4G base stations for mobile communications.
And say the word years. Years. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years.
I want to improve my English skills in order to have the opportunity.
Notice the word you say, want to improve my English skills, but it's English skills. So again, that goes back to lesson number 11. So it's the E. So you're having trouble differentiating between those two sounds. Now, if your first language is Español, habla Español, quizás. Now, if you speak Spanish, this is going to be tough. You're going to have an uphill battle for a while. So remember, get as much exposure to English as you can right now, and it helps you to develop a more natural sounding speaking fluency.
To study in the US, probably that's the main reason.
Okay.
I want to attend to some important university there. So I need to have a high score in the TOEFL, especially in the speaking part.
Okay.
What do you hope to achieve in this course? My main objective, as I said, is to improve my speaking skills, maybe 2 or 3 points. That would be really great.
You can do this, but, you really right now, I mean, you're watching TV in English, you're reading newspapers in English, you're talking to people in English, you're listening to the radio, watching TV, movies. Everything you do right now needs to surround yourself around English, right? All this exposure, and then my comments, and then my coaching and my helping you together, you will be able to get the score that you need on the speaking. But I'm telling you, it will take a lot of effort on your part and a lot of effort on my part.
I hope I can do it, otherwise it will be difficult to be in the US, and well, I hope I can finish it in the time that I have.
All right, well, thank you for doing this pre-test. Now, in addition to explaining which areas of my course you want to focus on more, which I already did, I now want to give you an intelligibility score. Now, in the email, I will include a link to that intelligibility scale so you can kind of see. So, right now, you have a very strong accent. So, sometimes it's difficult. It takes effort to understand what you're saying. However, you have been speaking English for a long time, I'm guessing, but you still have some issues you want to solve. I'm going to put you right now at about 3.9 on my scale out of 7. Remember, the high beginner is 1 and near native speaker is 7, so I'm putting you almost 4. So you're kind of in the middle, what I call intermediate level. So you're almost past that, but you still need a little more practice. Your goal when you finish, Andres, when you get near the end of the pronunciation part of my course, you can take that post-test and then email that to me, and I'll listen to that also. All right, so anyway, thank you very much for completing this pre-test. I hope that you know that I'm serious here. I'm serious about helping you improve your pronunciation. So what you have to do is, you got to do the work, you got to send me your audio files, and then I comment on it. Now here's my rule. My rule is simple. Except for the pre-test that you'll be taking, you need to keep all audio files at 60 seconds or less. If you want to do pronunciation practice, you can do that. You can also do independent and integrated speaking practice. Remember, all files are 60 seconds or less, and don't send me more than one in any 24 hours, because I want to be able to get feedback to all my students. Okay?